You have two Alex Kurtzman series here, and I'm curious how you differentiate between the wonder with them both.
They're both very different narratives. They're both very different ways of telling stories. And with Picard, we have this long sort of history of canon, music canon that I get to pull from, which is really, really fun to do. And The Man Who Fell to Earth was just this thing that we needed to sort of create from scratch, even though it was it's an extension of what the movie was or might have become. We, I think, wanted to create something really unique and really different from that as well. So, there's really no comparing the two in terms of how I went about doing it.
With this was very melodic with the Man Who Fell to Earth. However, in the first episode, it's got this rock and roll feel to it. You hear the guitar, and then there's the percussion. Can you talk about that? As we learn about Faraday.
Yeah, absolutely. We talked early on about that. There's a connection to Bowie, right? Like, so he was in it, and I don't know, maybe the second or third biggest Bowie fan in the world, So we wanted to give a nod to that. We wanted to add some of that grit and some of that sort of way he did things into that episode, and it sort of pops up throughout the whole series.
You touched on something about Star Trek, and I know it's also Alex's philosophy about the franchise. You need to pay homage to what's old and in moving it forward. Talk more about that with the music. You were saying you're pulling.
Well, a lot of that is trying to figure out how to have our own identity while still being a part of this franchise, and connecting the musical references from the past and making new musical references for the future, and just sort of connecting that whole thing. And it's really important to try to cast your own thing, but never let go of the thing that you were.
And I noticed a change up in the title theme for Picard. Can you talk about that? Is that reflective of his progression?
Yeah, I think that what we wanted to do was really reflect the growth of the character and what this particular story was going to be. I think season 1 was a lot more contemplative and a lot more about his personal journey, and this one is a little bit more swashbuckling, and this one is a little bit more of an action-y type thing. There's a lot more stuff going on, and we wanted to give it a little more pace and a little more hype.
Jeff Russo, everyone. Star Trek Picard, The Man Who Fell to Earth.